What's going on, everybody? Today we have a very special video planned. I have been stocking on a bunch of custom minifigures off of Etsy, and today we are going to be reviewing a bunch of them. We have 16 custom minifigures to check out. We are going to try and compare them to basic Lego minifigures and see if there are any big differences between the two. But other than that, I'm very excited, so let's go ahead and get started. First, a little Lego history. So back when Lego was first invented, it used cellulose acetate plastic as its regular molding plastic. And then in 1963, we upgraded to something called isolatronal butadiene styrene plastic, also known as ABS plastic. And that is what everybody normally uses now. So when sellers on Etsy or eBay have things that are ABS plastic, that's what they're referring to. And that is what the actual Lego company uses to make their Lego products as well. Also, a little fun fact, ABS plastic is also used in some phone cases and most car dashboards. Okay, the first custom minifigure, this one is actually from eBay. It was from seller Jonak Toys. It is a replica of the Lego Batman 1 video game from 2006, the Killer Croc minifigure. It's very basic, nothing on the back really. But I mean, the front is really where it shines. The scales are even a little textured, so as you run your finger through it, you can kind of feel the grooves of the printing. So far, the Killer Croc has gone perfectly. There have been no friction issues when moving him from the pegs on his feet. And after testing both of his hands, they both move with ease and it snaps very satisfyingly, and the arms even move easily too with no issues of looseness or being too tight. So it's a really good figure so far. With the price being $32.98 after shipping, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It's exactly what I was looking for, and it's really a fraction of the price of a regular OG Lego minifigure of this scale. So this is exactly what I was hoping for. Okay, so from here on out, the remaining figures are all on Etsy. This one is from seller One Source Deals LLC. It was for $22.37 after shipping. It is Nightwing and then Kyle Rayner in his Star Sapphire outfit. Now, I did some digging to figure out who Kyle Rayner was, and apparently he only uses the Star Sapphire outfit one time in the comic books, and for exactly one panel only. He uses it when he's talking to some alien creature and he expresses the love emotion, and so his ring turns into the pink and he becomes a Star Sapphire for literally only one panel, and then I guess he becomes a White Lantern later on. So really cool, but yeah, very crazy that a custom was made off of legitimately only one panel, but I still thought it was a need for the collection. Now, I have noticed that when I put them down on the base plate, it was a little bit tighter than the basic Batman and the Killer Croc even, but it still wasn't abnormally tight that it was impossible to put them down or that they keep popping back up. Their hands are also perfect fits for the, I'm guessing custom because I've never seen those pieces before, Nightwing batons, and then the custom shield for Star Sapphire. And then when I bought it, he only gave me the ring piece. He didn't give me the clear piece for it, so I just got one out of my collection to upgrade it. But other than that, these two characters are amazing. The Nightwing is probably my favorite. I mean, both of them have arm printing, leg printing, even boot printing. I mean, they are extremely detailed. Even some basic Lego minifigures aren't as detailed as these, but they are really, really cool. Nightwing did come with another face print, but honestly, I like the mask version better. And then here are the backs of the characters. They even have printing on the backs of the minifigures, which is very, very cool. Okay, these will be the only DC characters that I got from this bundle. Really, really cool. I'm really getting a lot of Arkham series vibes from that Nightwing. Probably one of my favorite minifigures so far. Let's continue. Okay, our next figure is from the same seller, the One Source Deals LLC. It's a Doctor Doom, and this is actually based off of the Doctor Doom figure that has already been released from the actual Lego company. I got this figure for $12.78 after shipping, and it's exactly what I wanted. Not too much detail, exactly what that old original Lego minifigure looked like, and it even really reminds me of the Lego Marvel Superheroes 1 version of Doctor Doom, and he played a very big role in that video game, so it's a really, really cool figure. Okay, this one I don't have too much details about, but I got it a long time ago. I can't even remember when. I think it was before we even moved into the house and when we lived in the apartment, but it's a Deadpool custom. I believe I got it off Etsy, but it's an amazingly detailed figure. It even came with a dog pool molded figure. It has arm printing, leg printing, boot printing, came with 2 guns, 2 katanas, the neck piece. I mean, it's really, really cool. I got this figure for $12.12 after shipping from Figment Atelier Co. So far, every minifigure we've reviewed has been using ABS plastic, and this one is no exception. It is awesome to finally have a Vision in my collection. This is also really reminiscent of the Age of Ultron look, even with a yellow cape, which is really reminiscent of his comic accurate look, which I really want them to make a comic accurate Vision look. That would be so cool. I have noticed that he is a little bit difficult to stick down into the Lego branded pegs. He doesn't fit all the way. As you can see, that's me pushing down even with some force. I don't want to keep pushing though. And he does have the same cape as Doctor Doom. It's that paper fabric that they used to make the capes out of. Now they use cloth, but which is what the Batman has. He has the cloth version, and then this is that paper version, which always has like a little pyramid in the back. See, since the folding, but I mean, I guess that's part of the old Lego charm. His arms and hands move fine, but yeah, I guess the only flaw about this figure is he's a little bit difficult to stick down into the pegs, but still really cool to finally have a Vision in the collection. Okay, I got these 2 figures from SZM Studios off of Etsy for $16.61 after shipping. Very, very cool figures. So we have Mark Grayson and Omni-Man from the Invincible series. As you guys know, I'm huge Invincible and Walking Dead fans, both made by Robert Kirkman. And so when I saw these on Etsy, I had to pick them up. It even came with 2 micro-scale minifigures with them. So Mark Grayson even has a dual molded face. That's his other face. It's the one after Omni-Man gets done beating the crap out of him. They even came with 2 micro-scale minifigures, which I really, really like those. And then they have some arm printing, a little bit of boot printing. Omni-Man does not have a dual molded face, and his hair is a little bit difficult. I don't know if you guys can tell. It kind of looks like it's raised on his head a little bit. They don't really fit his head all the way. Mark's is almost similar, but not as bad. But yeah, other than that, these 2 figures are amazing. I did notice, though, that the seller is no longer selling any of these, so I think these might have been the only 2 that he had, or I bought the last 2, because as I tried to go and look at any of the details from the purchase, that page is entirely not visible anymore. Okay, this next one is the biggest bundle that I bought. It is of 8 minifigures in total, and it was from seller Kim Bomey Store. Now, I've looked up their account. Their entire account is gone. I don't know if they were not doing things correctly on the Etsy store. I was a little skeptical when I bought them because the pictures looked heavily AI enhanced. I mean, they were literally surrounded in like a very bright lit woodland scene, and I was like, oh, this looks really scam-like. But I got the figures and they were exactly what the pictures showed, and I haven't found any flaws in them yet, but the entire store is gone, so I don't know what happened to that. But like I was saying, this was the biggest bundle I got. I got it for $69.04, so let's go down the line. we got a Marvel Rivals inspired Daredevil, a comic accurate Daredevil. It's not the comic accurate Daredevil like the one they had in the Daily Bugle set where he's in his full suit. It's more of like an older Daredevil because, as you can see, he has a beard. We'll go through the minifigures individually soon. A Bullseye figure, a comic accurate Iron Fist, a Marvel Rivals inspired Iron Fist, which is the Lin Lee variant, a Jessica Jones, a Luke Cage, and then finally a comic accurate Elektra. Okay, starting with the Daredevils, you can see definite differences. Obviously, the masks are the same molding, but different colors, whereas the Marvel Rivals is more of like a pinkish red, and the Daredevil, sorry, is a like a very dark red, almost like the Deadpool red in the back. I love the batons from the Marvel Rivals, the light pink red with the gold hinge, and then the all red batons on the other one. I mean, they're both really, really detailed and amazing. Here is them without the masks. This one's face is a little normal. This one almost gives me Clone Wars face vibes. It is very eerie and almost uncanny, if you want me to be honest. So I'm definitely going to be keeping the mask on him. I'll just say that. Here is the back of the minifigures. The Marvel Rivals Daredevil came with some shoulder pads, and it even has like a little area where swords would go, but in my opinion, Daredevil would never use a sword unless he absolutely needed to, kind of like Batman in Arkham City. And then here's the back of the other Daredevil. Both of them are very detailed, and I really do enjoy these two characters. Okay, so now we have the Iron Fist figures. One is the Lin Lee variant, the one on the right from Marvel Rivals, and then we have the Danny Rand comic accurate version of Iron Fist. I absolutely needed both for the collection. The Lin Lee has like a light yellow or cyan green magic, whereas the Iron Fist on the right has the bright yellow, which is really, really cool. So they both have like side printing. The Lin Lee is extremely detailed. And then this is the Danny Rand without his mask. Again, a very uncanny face print, but it's okay. And then this is his mask. It even came with a little piece. I don't know if you guys can see on the back, that yellow strand, or is actually I had to put in on the back of the mask, which is pretty cool. And then here's the back of the figures. And as you can see, that piece that I put on the mask sticks out a good bit, which gives it good like aura, I guess. Like it almost looks like the wind is blowing from his mask, but it is a little weird, and it does make it awkward to put them on the actual, like, in all that. When I have all these figures, I have to make room for some headbands blowing in the wind. It makes it a little difficult, but still, the figures are very, very cool. Okay, next up we got Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. Jessica has somewhat of an uncanny face, but it's not as bad as Danny or Daredevil. Both of them were pretty bad. Luke Cage comes with a chain and then an NYPD car door, which is really, really cool. And then she comes with a camera. Both are really cool, detailed figures. The only issue I have, though, is that Luke Cage's figure, I don't know if you could see it, the arm printing almost doesn't go all the way around. It has, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the Wolverine from the Marvel Lego minifigure series 2, I believe it was from the X-Men 97 brand. It has the same issue where it doesn't go all the way around, so there's like yellow and then it's his base skin tone, which it's very noticeable. You know, it doesn't look like it's his t-shirt. It looks like somebody painted yellow on his arm right next to his t-shirt. But other than that, I mean, the figures are really, really cool. Not much to say about Jessica or Luke. Okay, last but not least, we have some Defenders anti-heroes or villains, depending on your forte. We have Elektra with her size, which are kind of chromed, which I really, really like. And then we have Bullseye with his card, and then a all chromed out knife, which is really, really cool. I even remember some, like, I think Forest Fire 101 used some of those knives back in his old stop motions, which is very nostalgic for me. So you can remove the helmet off of Bullseye, giving his actual face a show, which it does have that like uncanny wide face print, but it still looks really good because his black mask really like hides all of that, and then the comic accurate bullseye on the top of his head is super sick. And then Elektra has another molded head underneath, which is kind of similar. I think it's less angry, but as I was saying earlier, the hair and hat are in one mold together, and it even has the strings just like the Iron Fist one had. Yeah, out of all 8 figures, all of them are perfect. I don't know why that seller got removed off Etsy or anything. I mean, I guess the pictures could have looked really scam-like, but they were not scams at all. The figures are perfect and exactly what I was wanting. I was really worried about the Rivals versions of the characters because I thought those were surely going to be fake. But no, even those look really, really good. And it was, as far as I could see, the only rival versions of the characters. I didn't see any Iron Mans, Spider-Mans, Venoms, or anything like that. All I saw was the Daredevil and Iron Fist so far, but I will definitely keep my eye out. Okay, I thought that was going to be it, but then the 2 things that I was waiting for showed up. Okay, so just like the Killer Croc earlier and the Doctor Doom earlier, these are custom replicas of Big Fig characters that are actually already out. One of them is the Killer Croc from set 70907, Tailgater from the Lego Batman movie, and another one is the Big Fig Bane from 70914, Toxic Truck Attack. Now, both of these are not the actual Lego minifigures. These are 3D printed variants of those and customs. So they are not actual Lego branded figures. They are the custom Etsy variants. And again, this is by Blockhead Shop Customs. When I went to the store, they were no longer there anymore. I don't know if they didn't even have AI pictures. They just had the pictures of the characters that I bought and I am looking at now. We are going to build them right now and see if there are any flaws. But as far as I could tell, there was no real issue. And I paid $38.46 for both of these after shipping. Alright, so I'm mid-build. Thought I'd mention this. As I'm building the Titan tank, this piece I got is completely broken. I don't know if you guys can see that. Look at that. It's snapped like in I don't even know how to describe that. So luckily I save all of my like clear pieces from Lego Star Wars and everything like that. So I have something to replace it, but wow, that is a first. Okay, so this is the Bane minifigure built. I did have to get instructions on how to build the back piece, but this is that constructed and with the correct non-broken figure pieces. As you can see, the die did not go all the way through on that piece, and it did on this piece, so that is a flaw right there. His headpiece is a little small, but I mean, that's about it. I mean, it is a regular Big Fig other than that, so that's pretty cool. Let's move on to the Killer Croc. Okay, well, it turns out that that broken piece right there was a sign that they're not going to give me a left or a right hand. I'm missing a right hand. So I guess I'm going to have to order one. Let me go on BrickOwl or BrickLink real fast and order one. I guess I'll see you guys in a couple of days when that one shows up. I mean, they gave me the claws for it, but they didn't give me the hand, so let me go order one. I'll see you guys in a couple of days.
1 week later.
Okay, so it's been about a week and the shipment has arrived. I had gotten a hand. I already put the claws on. I went ahead and opened the package to make sure that nothing was wrong with it. And I already put the claws on and everything, so it's all ready to go. But in order to get this, it was only $2.63. I had to get a little bit more in order to be able to actually purchase the items. And so I got this green snake for 15 cents and this cat for $1.15. And that equaled up to like, I think $5 or so, and which then let me was able to purchase it. So let's go ahead and put this hand on our handless Killer Croc. Okay, our Killer Croc figure is finally complete with 2 hands. I will be honest, he does not fit on the pegs that well. I had to really push to even get that foot in there, and still that foot is, as you can see, it doesn't even like align up with any of the pegs. So that kind of sucks. The same with the Bane figure, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm happy that the figures are built and in the set and in the collection. Let's go ahead and do a rundown of everything we got. Okay, so I'm going to start on the right and go to the left. We got a Vision figure, a Daredevil from Marvel Rivals, a Jessica Jones, a Luke Cage, a Bullseye, a Iron Fist from Marvel Rivals, a comic accurate Iron Fist, an Elektra, a Deadpool and Deadpool dog. These are real figures though, they're not customs, they're real Legos of a green snake and a kitten. We got Doctor Doom, we got our Omni-Man and Mark Grayson, Nightwing, Killer Croc, Kyle Rayner, another Killer Croc, and I'm going to count the Killer Croc hand, and then also Bane. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and comment which figure is your favorite.